Hey, everybody. Welcome to DBC Inc. Facebook Live. It is a Thursday. I am here with you today. It's just me. If you are joining in, please throw your name over in the comments. Let us know who is here. Let us know where you are watching from. I'm so glad to be here with you. And if we get a couple comments rolling in here, I might just have to pull out those readers so I can see them. I already told you I'm at that age now. Can see no comments without my readers on. So hopefully I'll even notice when they come in. It's getting worse and worse every single day. So welcome to the live. Hey, who even know? Now, I don't got my pretty fancy background because I just got back from the gym right now. And we weren't going to do it tonight, but I decided, hey, look at this. There's like 30 seconds to go live. I'm just going to try to open up this computer and create a link and get going with it. And so we are absolutely giving it a shot. And so, you're just going to have to deal with it. Kristen is here. I can see this. Let me throw it on the screen so I can read it. Hey, thanks for joining. Back to the good old days, Kristen. I feel like it's been a while since you've been the first comment. It was a regular thing for a while. Now you're back on your game. I'm back on my game, getting up here on this Thursday Night Live. So thanks for popping in there. Super appreciate it. I have to tell you, I have to open this door right now because we have a new, let's see if we can go there. Okay, there we go. Oh. We have a new visitor in our house, and that new visitor is a kitten. And so now we have not just a dog and a cat, but we also have a small baby kitten. I'll put some pictures up on Instagram story, probably a Facebook story later tonight, so you can get to see this situation. It was a military operation conducted by my son Finn and his girlfriend Jay, and they, almost ran over a cat, rescued it, brought it in, bathed it, tried to find the owners, had it scanned for a chip, and no chip, no apparent owners, and one of those little slippery slopes where then after it stays for a while, there's an attachment that forms. And yeah, so it looks like maybe we might have a new cat. But it is cute, as you'll see in the pictures. And Kona the dog is very intrigued by the cat, likes the cat, and that's a win right there. Raven, the cat that we had, not so much a big fan, but yeah. Okay, anyway, who else we got here? Look, is it Tara Martin? Tara Martin is here watching? How about that? Tara Martin is here. And let's see what else she's in. Let's get these readers on so I can see what this says. What about that shirt though? Yeah, representing the little Be Real from Tara Martin. Tara Martin, besides being a DBC Rockstar employee, also author of 2 books. That's right. Be Real and Cannonball In, children's book that is just as good for adults. Yes. And that shirt is and I will admit that I just wore it to the gym, and so probably needs to go into the laundry now, but that's okay. And yeah, I wait till you see the picture, Kristen. I'll probably put a couple pictures up, but I got a feeling it's a permanent guest. And maybe a new member of the family. So we will see. Hey, so when I was quickly trying to drive home, of course, although I was trying to be quick, it's not like I didn't stop and get my McDonald's shot Coke. Let's be honest, we have to all have priorities. So anyway, wait a sec. Oh yeah, I remember these. I think maybe I might have a stress ball somewhere. A Be Real stress ball around somewhere too. I'm not sure though where that is. Maybe that got lost in the move. I'm not sure. I'll have to see if I can locate that. I forgot about those. I forgot about the stress balls. I just put a podcast out, and it is called "Do Pirates Get Seasick?" It's episode 45, and so I've got 2 kind of recent ones out. One was Finding Ladders, and which is a very ridiculous story about me and my lack of home maintenance skills. And then I just put out Do Pirates Get Seasick? And of course, you probably already know the spoiler alert answer, and it is yes. I got a major seasickness problem. It's one of the most embarrassing things to be about being a pirate for me. And in the episode, I said, like, you probably think it's the puffy shirts. It's not the puffy shirts. You probably think that as a grown man refers to himself as a pirate. No, it's not that either. The most embarrassing thing about claiming yourself as a pirate is the fact that I get seasick. And so I'm not a very good pirate in that standpoint. And so I tell you two stories about this seasickness, one of them on a kayak, and or I tell part of the kayak story anyway. One of them on a kayak, and I tell another one about a trip to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. And theme parks will just never be the same after this particular trip to Busch Gardens. And so I tell the whole story about what happened. There's a Coolio quote in there that I threw in there. And yeah, I can still remember the ride that took me down too. And so that's in that episode as well. And then what I did is I looked at what people recommend for seasickness and for motion sickness, car sickness, roller coaster, all that kind of stuff. Like, what do people recommend that you do to combat this? And I tried to draw some life lessons. So I drew 4 life lessons from nausea. You're saying, oh, wait a second. You're trying to tell me you made a life lesson podcast out of nausea? That's exactly what I did. And I researched what it is that causes motion sickness and what these recommendations were. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, you know what? These are actually, I think I can draw some connections to just life in general. Like, for example, one of the things is trigger avoidance. Like, hey, that's one of the key ways to stop having motion sickness is like, don't do things that create this kind of motion, like avoid roller coasters. Is like, don't go out on that boat, right? And so then we talk about in life how you can do the same thing. Who are people that maybe give you anxiety when you're around them? You feel uncomfortable, and it's just you feel on edge. And how can you limit your exposure to them, if not avoid them altogether, right? And so we talked about trigger avoidance. Another one is fixing your eyes on something on the horizon. So they say, like, if you fix your eyes on something on the horizon and not the day-to-day moving of the boat and all that kind of, like, the stuff that's moving all around you, but kind of look out at the horizon. That is something that's helpful. Same thing is true in life, where there can be lots of ups and downs in your daily life. And it seems if you're hyper-focused on what's right in front of you and the day-to-day struggles and frustrations, obstacles, confusion, all that, it can make you very uneasy. Sometimes you have to put your eyes out on something which is in the future that is going to be something that's brighter and better. And so having that goal, having that destination, having that reason why you are going through these struggles, these frustrations, these ups and downs, fixing your eyes on that helps you center yourself and deal with these daily struggles and frustrations and ups and downs and problems and despair and anxiety, right? And so that was the second lesson. The third lesson is control. And what I brought out in this part of the podcast is, if you think about motion sickness in a car, this is going to resonate with you. And this is something that you probably have recognized before, but never really kind of thought about it. The driver rarely gets car sick. The person who's in control of the car rarely gets car sick. It's the passenger that gets car sick, right? The passenger is not in control. The passenger is not the one that knows what they're doing with the car and navigating the turns and all this kind of stuff like this. They're having it all happen to them. So they are out of control of the situation, and they are the ones that get car sick, right? And so where in your life are you out of control? Where in your life are other people controlling you? Where are you feel like you have that sense of loss of control and you're being tossed to and fro, and you don't know what's coming next, right? And how can you take control of some more of those areas of your life, and that'll help your be less uneasy, less queasy, right? Have less anxiety. So seeking control. And then the last one that I talk about is having an unobstructed view. And so if to get rid of motion sickness or to stop motion sickness from happening, they talk about having an unobstructed view. Okay. And so In other words, if you were in the car, it is better for you to be in the front passenger seat. If you're not driving is best, right? But if you're not driving, it's better for you to be in the front passenger seat than in the back passenger seat, right? It's better for you to be so you can see the road and you're able to see that horizon and fix on it, right? And this is so that is so that's part of it. If you're in the boat, you don't want to be underneath the deck where you can't see it. You're just like there's the ups and downs and rolls and you can't see what's happening. It's better to be up on the deck in some fresh air and be able to see what's happening around you. Okay. And so creating an unobstructed view. And so I talked about in the podcast, different areas of your life where maybe you have an obstructed view. Like you don't know what's going on. It's like, you know that there's something that you should be paying attention to and minding more carefully. And you're just like, I don't even want to like look at that because I know it's problematic. And so I'm going to avoid it. Well, that avoidance creates this kind of low level anxiety that's always in the background. It's always there behind you. It's always like just kind of bothering you. Not enough really to like step up to the level where you feel like you have to tackle it, but it's weighing on you nevertheless. An example for me is my email inbox. So I'm on this 2-week plan of trying to get to inbox zero. And now, again, if you're thinking a 2-week plan to inbox zero sounds ridiculous, it's only because you haven't seen my inbox. If you saw my inbox, you'd be like, 2 weeks is pretty optimistic, my man. But anyway, yeah. And so my inbox, it's so big, it's so overwhelming that when it gets that way, I kind of ignore it. And there's anxiety, not just in the fact that it's big, it was big and getting bigger, but there was anxiety in the fact that like, I'm not even sure what all's in there. Like, I'm afraid if I go look, I'm going to find stuff that's really embarrassing. People I should have got back to, things that maybe have already passed the deadline for, that now it's super embarrassing to contact them and say like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Like you sent me this and I didn't respond in time. And it's that feeling of not knowing what's there that gives a lot of anxiety and fear. Okay. And so, now that I'm in there, even though it's still overwhelming, I just feel better about it because I'm making progress, right? And so I've created an unobstructed view now. I'm looking at it. And in the podcast, I talk about this guy named David Allen. And David Allen is a productivity guru. And the book that he's most famous for is called Getting Things Done. Getting Things Done is a productivity, sort of like if you are a productivity freak, it's one of the Bibles of productivity. Like if you are into productivity, you probably are aware of the Getting Things Done methodology. They call it the GTD. Like it's a whole community of people that believe in this system. And one of the key components of the system is about creating this unobstructed view. And one of the first things that David Allen has you do is he has you create a capture system. Could just be like a legal pad, might be something digital, but whatever it is, like just you create a capture system and you write down every single thing that you have to do. Professional, personal, social, every single thing that you have to do. And you just put it all out. You don't keep anything in your mind. Like I'll remember to do that. Like I know I have to like get the oil changed, but like no, it goes onto the to-do list. It goes into this capture system. Everything goes into the capture system. Now, 2 things happen. First thing is you might go, oh my God, I'd be overwhelmed. That's going to be like 10 pages long if I put everything down, right? Yes, it will be overwhelming, but it will be unobstructed. You'll be able to see it. You will not have this sense that like I think I'm probably forgetting something. Like when we let our mind be a filing cabinet and we let our mind be our calendar and all that, then there's always this sense that like I think maybe something's slipping through the cracks. Like there's this anxiety of like, I'm pretty sure I'm missing something. Like I think there was something else I was supposed to do, and things start to slip through the cracks, right? So get it all out in front of you, create that unobstructed view. And then also when your brain is not being used as a filing cabinet, then what happens is it frees it up to be able to, you take all of that mental capacity, right? And you free it up not only to be more relaxed, less anxious, but maybe to put it to use for creative endeavors or to be more productive. And so getting everything out onto a to-do list is a great technique. That's the beginning piece of the getting things done methodology. Now, I know the entire getting things done methodology. The problem is I don't use it. But that is exactly what I thought about when I saw this idea of how to limit motion sickness is by creating an unobstructed view. So there you go. A podcast with 4 lessons drawn from nausea. So to kind of recap those real quickly, again, it's all on episode 45 of the Dave Burgess Show. Hopefully you give it a listen. But the first one is what was the first one anyway? Oh, trigger avoidance. The first one is trigger avoidance. How can you avoid things that cause anxiety in your life, and so that you can avoid things and create schedules and a way of living that avoids these things. And then 2 is fixing that your gaze on the horizon. And so having something ahead of you that you're looking forward to, that you're aiming for is important. I use an example in the podcast of running, for like maybe the day-to-day struggle of going out and getting your runs in, doing your PT exercise, whatever it might be, might not always feel so great. But when you have something on the horizon, like, you know what, I want to be a part of this race on this particular day, and I'm going to meet my friends, do this half marathon, like me last year with Columbus. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to go out and run today, but I do want to be ready for that half marathon and be able to perform at that half marathon and finish with my friends. And so it helps get you out and doing what you need to do when you have that when you fix your gaze on the horizon. The third thing is control. Make sure that you're taking control, and that whole comes from the concept of the driver rarely gets car sick. It's the passenger. So where in your life can you not be the passenger as often and try to take control of the wheel of your own life and then create that unobstructed view? So there you go, four lessons from nausea right there. And Tara has put the link to episode 45 in the show. And I feel like I just almost gave you the episode right here in Facebook Live, but you have to tune in at least to hear my story about Busch Gardens and the ride that took me down and what the rest of my day looked like. Okay. David is here. Whoa, what's going on? Checklist gang. Here we go. Awesome. And what's this? The reading glasses. Yeah. I'm going all reading glasses today so I can see what you all are saying. Yeah. Tara, thanks for putting the link in there. And no spoiler alert. Yeah. Hey, no spoiler alert. Absolutely. Listen to the podcast, man. I'm expecting an Instagram story from you, David, with your takeaway, your hashtag takeaways. I love those. Yeah. Don't forget. Be real. Educate from the heart. Tara Martin. Cannonball in. Tara Martin. And I know that Tara hasn't listened to the podcast yet, because there's a surprise in it, and she hasn't mentioned anything to me about it yet, and so I know she hasn't listened. So I'm testing her. I'll know exactly when she listens because I'll get a message from her, I'm sure. And so this is like, every once in a while you have to throw in these little Easter eggs and these little things to see, like, I wonder if Tara actually does listen to my podcast. Well, I'm gonna put this in here and see what she says. So I have a little surprise. So I know she hasn't listened to it yet. So I'm just testing you, Tara Martin, testing you. And another DBC employee, Wendy Van Dyke, already messaged me about the little secret part of the podcast. So I know she listened, but it's all right. Not everybody in DBC has to listen to the podcast. I guess it's like, it's okay. I mean, I'm willing to deal with it. Like, I'm getting a little emotional here, but if Tara doesn't want to listen to my podcast, I guess that's all right. All right. Hey, I want to thank all of you for joining me. And this was a little, even though it's on time schedule, 4:30 on Thursday, we're going to call this an impromptu one, because I literally walked into the house 1 minute before this started, quickly found my computer, popped it open, and got the stream started. And by the way, usually Tara makes the link for these. which is why we have the pretty background and stuff like that. And so I just went in and made like the basic link and started it. And I'm just surprised I could even do that. And so, yeah. Wait, now, Donna, where have you been? I saw your message on Facebook saying that it was coming up. And then my accountability partner is late. You have to go back in, listen from the start. But basically, I could save you some time. If you don't want to listen to it, just listen to episode 45 of the Dave Burgess Show. Kind of the same thing. And Kristen, you are more than welcome for Thursday nights. We love a chance to connect with our PLN, our people, our DBC crew, and we love all of you. And again, I know that Thursday nights are tough. It's a long time into the week. It's always a long week, it seems like these days. And the fact that you'll take a little time out of your schedule on Thursdays and join us, we really appreciate it. I think there is an email coming out to y'all tomorrow. If you're on the email list, if you're not on the email list, get on there. And Sunday, we'll be sitting down the Sunday 7 again. The Sunday 7 comes every single week. It comes from either me, it comes from Tara, or one of our authors. 7 things that we're just thinking about that week. Some of them education related, some of them not education related. But make sure if you are not on the email list to get the Sunday 7, you get on there and get that email list. Get on that email list and get those Sunday 7s. There are always at least a couple things that are kind of fun or interesting. And again, it's I think I said this the last 2 times, but it's been a while since we put out a professional development book. I think Lead with Collaboration. Jessica Gomez and Allison Absey was the last professional development book. We have Naomi O'Brien's book, which is a book for young readers to do in class, read aloud with young readers. But as far as PD books, we have them coming on the way. And we have several of them that are in the last stages of editing. The covers are already been revealed. And we're just in the last stages of editing, getting them to you, getting them proofread, getting them all laid out and looking pretty for you. And so those are coming very soon. And I cannot wait to get on here with the authors and with Tara and do a book birthday and show you what's going on. So, all right, everybody, we will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.